Go ahead.
Tell you what, we could have had a good life together. Fucking real good life. Had us a place of our own. But you didn't want it, Ennis. So what we got now is Brokeback Mountain.
What's going on, everyone? My name's Henry from Ahead of the Curve 94. Thank you so much for tuning in to the very special 20th anniversary episode of Brokeback Mountain. Yes, people, this is one I've been anticipating for quite some damn time. However, people, I need to address a few issues. The last week or two, I've been on and off sick. It's been kind of rough, okay? I'm doing much better now, people. I am feeling great. Hence why I'm here. But in my voice, I can feel it. For this last part, I'm actually embarrassed to say, because I feel like a kid again. People, I have a case of pink eye. Correction, pink eyes. Yes, I feel like I'm 8 years old again. As of this recording, I turned 31 next month. However, I'm okay. For the sake of the review, though, we're going to rock the shades. Okay, now that the announcements are out the way, cue the damn intro. People, let me take you back 2 decades, okay? In 2005, young 11-year-old me, I was obsessed with this movie. Looking back on it today, at the time I thought I was straight. I have a boyfriend now. I guess what I'm trying to say is, with that added context, this movie really means a lot to me. And it pisses me off to tell you that Brokeback Mountain lost the Best Picture Oscar to goddamn Crash. I mean, according to my copy, racism is bad. Check out that review if you want to hear me rant about this fucking thing. Okay, let's read the goddamn plot synopsis here. Brokeback Mountain. Its plot depicts the complex romantic relationship between two American cowboys, Ennis Delmar and Jack Twist, in the American West from 1963 to 1983. Holy shit, people, you realize something? It was 20 years for them, and it's also been 20 years for us. That's kind of insane. That actually brings up an interesting point. This movie kind of sucks at telling you how much time it's been, okay? If it wasn't for the fact that there are literal babies born in this film, who, by the end are full-grown adults, and maybe the fact that their, mustache or sideburns might change. Other than that, people, the track of time severely gets lost, okay? People, let me tell you, the first question I had going into this rewatch, has this movie aged well? Now that this is no longer, taboo or tough to talk about in public, can this movie stand on its own 2 feet? Or in this case, its own 2 leads? Let's find out. Holy shit, I heard my voice crack there. Leave it in, editor. We cut to 1963, bumfuck Wyoming. And we meet these 2 characters. Ennis, played by Heath Ledger, and Jack, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. These 2 cowpokes, are just 2 men looking for work. So they find a job herding sheep on the old Brokeback Mountain. Now these 2 literally just met each other, and let me tell you, this job, to me, looks like it fucking sucks. I'm sorry. Just outside of the fact that there's so many beautiful shots of the mountains and the landscape, I'd go crazy doing this shit, okay? There's no goddamn way. I mean, I guess we're starving this winter. I don't know what to tell you.
Jack Twist.
Ennis.
Your folks just stop at Ennis?
Delmar.
Well, nice to know you, Ennis Delmar.
So yeah, these 2 have just met each other, and now they're gonna spend months on end with no other human contact. Awkward as fuck. Now, to be clear, people, this film isn't what I would call a fast-paced and exciting movie. Oh, no. It's much more slow and methodical. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this thing runs 2 hours and 14 minutes. And let me tell you, you could have easily trimmed probably 30 minutes or so out of this one. I'm sorry to tell you. Yes, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Does not mean that it's perfect. There's so many things that could go wrong. I mean, these two are just isolated from the rest of the world. No phone, no nothing. So, when inevitably shit goes south, which it does early on, one point Ennis, while on his horse, runs into a goddamn bear. Yeah, I'm with the horse. Fuck that. I'm out of here. The issue is, Ennis gets hurt, the horse is gone, they lose a shitload of supplies. So much so that these two are they're trying to figure out what they're gonna eat to survive the upcoming weeks. And of course, the idea of getting high on your own supply, of course, it comes up. Slowly but surely, these two start to get closer, more comfortable. So much so that, they'll just shower and bathe in front of each other, asshole out and everything. So one night, after a few too many, how many of us have had stories that start like this? These two, they fuck. Sorry for the derogatory language. No, I'm not gonna switch it up. They fuck, okay? There's just no way around it. No, I was gonna say they make love, but not right here. But it doesn't just happen like that, okay? No. Ennis, for example, has a little bit of a brief moment of gay panic. He doesn't quite know what to do, and let me tell you, when I was crossing over into this world as well, in my personal life, I probably leaned more toward Ennis' side, I hope I wasn't toxic. That's the one thing I didn't want to do, but yeah, no. He's a little nervous. So was I. Hey, Ennis, speaking from experience, that's not enough spit, bro. You're gonna need some more. Next morning, Jack is just open arm, wanting to talk about it, and Ennis shows up, gives him the old cold shoulder, and just dips. Now, people, understand something. This is only about 30 minutes into it, so what's the rest of the movie about? It really starts to dive into how these two are supposed to navigate as if they're living their normal lives, and they gotta hide this in the closet. So yes, people, the second time these two meet, they make love. Unfortunately for these two, though, even on the mountain, they're not safe. They're not hidden from the world at all. The entire time, or at least for brief moments, their boss has been spying on them. Of course, he's doing it from afar, and, he doesn't quite confront them about it. Even later on, he sort of just, we'll get there. All of a sudden, next thing you know, between these two, tensions are rising. I mean, they literally get into a small fist fight. I mean, fellas, it's way too early for domestic abuse. Hold on! The worst part is, now that the job is done, these two, they must head their separate ways, and neither one of them want to do that. Now, Jack, as I mentioned earlier, he wears his heart on his sleeve, has no problem talking about it. Ennis tries to mask his emotions, but early on, we see as soon as they separate, he fucking breaks down. It's rough, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is some deep shit. And I just feel for people that had to live through this.
What the fuck are you looking at? Huh?
Luckily for me, as soon as I found out, I came out. Let's just put it that way. So for now, the two are separated until next summer for when they can work again. In the meantime, Ennis planned to marry his, girlfriend who becomes his wife. And she is played by Michelle Williams. The character's name is Alma. Of course, these two are getting ready to, pop out some babies, live the old slice of American pie life. The entire time you can see Ennis is just on autopilot. He's just going through the motions, job to job, not really present in the moment. Jack comes up to the old boss, asking for the job, and then gets turned down due to discrimination. Fuck this guy, man. For real. I just want to give him the old rib punch of death. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but just, one solid rib punch, we can move on. For now, we focus on Jack's story, okay? We've got a shitload of Ennis's backstory, his current family life. What's Jack all about? Let me tell you, this guy loves the rodeo. And this son of a bitch right here, I'm jealous as fuck, okay? This motherfucker ends up with Anne Hathaway, okay? Let me tell you something. When I saw this film, I had no idea who Anne Hathaway was. But early on, there are two big reasons why, if you see this, you'll never forget. I'm sure you can figure out what I mean. Obviously can't put it in the review. And then before you know it, these two are now popping out babies as well. Years are just flying by here. Specifically, one time Jack shows up to Ennis's apartment, right? He's got the wife and the kids there. These two, in their excitement, which, you know, I get it. I could imagine not seeing the person I love for a fucking year. They meet and ASAP, they pull each other aside, you know, start making out. Unfortunately, Alma catches a glimpse from the window and does not confront him about it, okay? This is a problem that's gonna keep festering for quite a while now, so buckle up. I mostly blame Ennis for this one, only because he was drunk as fuck by the time Jack got there. It starts off like, hey, I'm gonna drink a beer, smoke a cig, kill some time. Okay, buddy, you do you. And then it just flashes by and he's like, God damn, bro, how many six packs? So when he gets a hold of Jack, he's like, The two just couldn't wait. I mean, hell, Ennis is like the happiest he's been in the entire movie at this point. He's so elated. Like, you know, I can't help but to root for him. But fellas, it's broad daylight and you're in front of the window. Come on. So these two head off to a no-tail motel, and honestly, this is one of the more important scenes here because we get the two just speaking real shit to each other. They've had their mask on for the last, year or so. They finally get to be themselves, and we get to see, like Jack is obviously the dreamer of the two, and Ennis, he isn't too keen on it, not yet. He has a little bit of a backstory here. When he was 9, his dad showed him and his brother a horrible crime scene. Honestly, calling it a crime scene isn't doing it justice at all. This was just a poor person who was deserted in the desert, okay? No way around it. There were two gay men who, met each other, started to build a life, and bigots came in and killed them. But not just killed him, they mutilated him in multiple ways. So anytime Ennis has these reservations, it starts to add a little bit of context. Like, maybe he sees flashes of that poor rotting corpse in the desert. I mean, like, this is some powerful shit. One that shouldn't be glossed over at all. I mean, especially considering how Ennis has been a fucking hard ass the entire time. We finally get to understand a little bit more of his psyche. The way I like to put it is, Ennis just wants to live. He has no plans of being happy. He just want to live. It's really sad that that's like the bare minimum that these two have right now. It's sad. So another huge time jump passes. And once again, Alma has yet to confront Ennis about any of this shit. I can't imagine what she's going through, to be clear. Like, I don't want to make her seem like a villain here at all. Like, this has to be doing a lot of damage to her, knowing that the person she shares the bed with isn't truly that person at all. I mean, living an entirely different life. I get it. Say something. Come on. Oh, there's so much hanging in the balance here, and it irks me. It ends up festering one night while those two are in bed, doing the dirty. Like, at the worst time, she brings it up, and she wants a divorce. She ends up saying some cold shit, too, and, I was like, yikes. But on the bright side, Ennis gets to introduce his daughters to Jack. That was a cute little moment. Unfortunately, though, Jack and Ennis, They don't do their yearly meetup, and this is the start of something even darker here, people. So Jack ends up heading down to Mexico, finds himself a prostitute. Come on, people, we know where this leads. Yes, people, it's about to get a little darker here. They went from, potentially safe sex with, that one partner outside of their wives to, broadening the horizons, bringing a lot of different other people into the equation. Things can get sloppy. Let's just say that.
Sometimes I miss you so much I can hardly stand it.
Ennis and Jack are so miserable in their daily lives. I mean, year after year, it's just only been building. They can't even enjoy Thanksgiving anymore with the family. So the two end up going back up the mountain for a moment of reprieve. And get this, people, they can't even get that. The two end up fighting, butting heads, saying some hurtful shit. Ennis takes off. Later on, he ends up meeting Linda Cardellini's character, who goes by the name of Cassie. Almost escaped me there. And get this, people, another undisclosed time jump has just happened. Needless to say, the relationship between Cassie and Ennis, it does not last long at all. Shit, at this point, Ennis's oldest daughter is now played by a young Kate Mara. Yes, who we've covered, I think, twice already in this year alone. We did The Martian and Fant Four Stick, so check out those reviews as well. I think this is one of the first movies between this and the Mark Wahlberg movie, Shooter. I think between this and that, those are probably like the first two roles I've seen her in. Always a good addition to the cast. It's unfortunate to say this, people, but things are not going well for Ennis or Jack. These two are not going to be together. I am sorry to say that this does not turn and do a complete 180. No, people, this one ends tragically. We're not there yet, though. Ennis still can't quite accept what is, the truth, so to speak. I mean, he's just tired of everything. He's been on the down low, just living a completely different life. None of this shit's working. So he ends up buying some isolated motorhome in the middle of nowhere. Look, I understand that this man has been through some shit, but he's not entirely a likable character. He does some shit, man, and it pisses me off. I feel like of the two, Jack is, the more likable, but, character-wise, like on screen for a movie, yeah, following Ennis was probably the way to go. Unfortunately, people, Ennis gets word that Jack is no longer here with us. He calls up Anne Hathaway's character, which is also interesting that these two both appeared in Batman movies. They probably would have appeared in the same one if not for the tragic passing of Heath Ledger. We find out that Jack died in some weird freak accident involving him changing a tire that erupted in his face. However, Ennis goes to that dark place again, people, and while hearing the story of Jack's passing, he pictures something else. Another hate crime. Like just people brutally beating him in like tire irons. It's hard to watch, I'm not gonna lie. And this is coming from a person who is currently reviewing all the Saw movies. This takes the cake. Just little flashes right there. His worst fears might have come to life, people. And I don't think the movie fully answers whether or not, it was a freak accident or if it was murder. And I think it's actually best that we never get that answer. For the sake of the movie, that is. Ennis heads up to Jack's family's house. Once again, in the middle of bumfuck who knows where. He goes up to fulfill Jack's final request. And there's so many shots where we just hold on, Ennis with the family. Whether they're just talking it out or, holding back tears. This is some powerful shit, people. I think that the parents are at least a little privy to what was going on. It's very quiet, very somber. There's mostly no music at all. I mean, you might just hear, you know, Ennis's boots hitting the wood, and that's about it. We're just left to fester in this moment. And hey, it's kind of glorious. And now we're approaching the end where, you know, as I mentioned earlier, Ennis has this trailer in the middle of nowhere, and he's just living a life of solitude in the end. A sad, remorseful one at that. Ultimately, in the end, people, this movie, Brokeback Mountain, it's not an easy watch. I'm sure you knew that getting into it, but, you know, if you made it this far into the review with my shitty ass voice and my pink eye, don't forget, yes, still got pink eye. Where do I begin to give my thanks? I don't know where to start outside of this. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, people. Brokeback Mountain is, you know, one of my all-time favorite movies growing up. This is not one of those put on in the background movies while I edit. Oh, no. This one I saved for like special occasions. Honestly, I think before this rewatch, I probably hadn't even seen it for a decade. And I bought this Blu-ray last year. I was saving it for this very review. Do not put this on if you want to feel better about the world or anything like that. However, I urge everyone to give it a chance. For reference, I put my 2 copies of The Wrestler out on set today. Check out the review I did for this movie. Big shout out to Fake Name Game, who appeared for a little cameo appearance in that review. Best believe we've already planned out a couple more videos that should premiere this year, so stay tuned. But I bring up The Wrestler because that is one of those movies that, once again, I do not put on for just any reason. And yes, it's one of those Oscar bait, my life is sad movies. Sometimes when these types of movies are done right, they strike a chord with me. And in this case of The Wrestler, Brokeback Mountain, these are movies that I'm going to keep with me forever. But with that being said, prior to the rewatch, I expected to give this movie a specific rating. Yes, people, I almost put the pen to the paper and wrote it down before I even got to the notes. I can't believe I'm saying this, people. I expected Brokeback Mountain to get a rating of New Religion, which, of course, is my top rating possible. However, as I mentioned earlier, there's about 30 minutes of this movie kind of retreading old shit that we could have trimmed down a bit. With that being said, Brokeback Mountain gets the second highest rating of added to the collection. And let that be known, that's not a knock against the film. It's still a really highly regarded one in my eyes. People, can't believe we made it to the very end of this video. Before we get out of here, let me just say, my name's Henry. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart once again. If it wasn't for you watching this, I don't know what I would be doing right now. I thank you for inviting me in for however long it's been. And please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the algorithm shit. It would mean the world to me. With that being said, people, cue the outro. Hey, it's me again, the guy from the thing you just watched. Feel free to check out one of the 2 videos on your stream, currently speaking. You can't go wrong with either or. Thank you so much. This time, it's for real. Deuces.